actually raining hard, but it's sunny now with some clouds sticking around. And what's going on today? How about this one? I've heard of this before. How about frying, I guess, drone in the air as a counter-drone measure? This one says, we're getting that Friday feeling. US Army gets hold of a drone cooking microwave rig. I don't think this thing can tell the difference between a drone and whatever else is in the air in that range, huh? It says the US Army has taken delivery of its first drone cooking weapon designed to knock unmanned aerial systems out of the air using high-powered microwave beams. We're told this hardware, developed by defense contractor Epirus, can even take care of an entire drone swarms. With this gear in hand, the Army's Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies Office now has its first indirect fire protection capability, high-powered microwave machine to protect military assets from cheap, readily available drones. As has been the case in Ukraine since Russia invaded last year, drones are being fielded by both sides in large numbers to devastating effect. While the US Army is not directly engaged in ground conflicts where drones are a serious threat, things are likely to stay that way for long, making developing a system able to deal with individual and swarm drones an essential part of future warfare, it's felt. I would imagine that, again, would take out a multiple variety of stuff that people would use in the air, huh? And it's big business too, because it says here the manufacturer said in January when it announced a $66.1 million supply contract with the US government, they did multiple sponsored test events and all that. That's usually the case where a lot of companies make money out of this. And it says, when Lenidus puts effect on a drone, for example, it drops out of the sky and is rendered useless. Yeah, I would think. Lenidus is mounted on a 360-degree gimbal, allowing it to rotate to face targets and enables upgradable lethality through simple software-based updates to deployed systems. It can be tuned to fire a narrower beam targeting a single large drone or widened to blast swarms out of the air, it's claimed. Something straight out of a movie. I would imagine too, if that's the case with a drone, it'll take out any wildlife and stuff too, correct? Like a bird and so forth. Either way, war isn't ending and companies are making a lot of money out of it, I guess. And this was kind of interesting as it reminds me of that situation you guys remember when I could have potentially used a drone to find a missing person and all that, but because some people were ignorant about the laws and so forth, like the police officers, there was so much delay and unfortunately that person passed away. And how about this one where, again, it seems like there's more families wanting people to use drones to help them find missing people. Like this one says, willing to pay for drone to search for my missing husband. As the story goes, it says the Bandit police have been looking in vain for a 43-year-old morning walker who vanished from the service road along the Eastern Express Highway on October 30th. Harsh Arora, a sales manager of a private bank, left home for a walk and was running towards Gandhi Nagar when he disappeared. A dedicated team of cops is spanning a stretch of 3 kilometers covered with mangroves to ascertain what happened. Now you would think too, a person I guess wandering around that area, there'd be cameras everywhere nowadays, but it says here, the 2 non-operational cameras on the highway have made the search harder. Unfortunate, I guess, timing, huh? Especially with that thing malfunctioning. And according to this, he just recently, I guess, changed banks in terms of where he was working, and it says he was into fitness and would take long walks. The cops have checked hospitals and mortuaries to know whether there are any unclaimed bodies as well. Meanwhile, the family is insisting on the use of drones to know if he was harmed and dumped in the marshy land near Bottom Village. The police will also use drones to check swamplands. It makes you wonder, like, should a regular person be able to use their drones to try to find missing people in this case, even if there's, let's just say, some law enforcement to say, nope, you're not allowed to use this and that. How about this, when there's actually someone's life at hand? Would you actually do it anyways and risk, I guess, getting punished afterwards? It's just one of those situations where it's true because I was first-hand experience where, in my case, it was ignorant police officers, but should people be able to use it if it's perfectly safe to try to find missing people and all that, versus wasting time with all these, I guess, technicalities and so forth that don't even relate to, let's just say, a drone operator versus a traditional manned aircraft, like a huge one. And there was so much media today in terms of videos published of that Hezbollah announcing that they're entering that war between Israel and Palestine. So many of them, like for example, showing somewhere they're destroying things like tanks and all that. That's what it seems like anyways. A lot of them seem to be showing off, I guess, their weapons, for example, missiles and all that. I guess it's a way to intimidate people or to say, hey, we're prepared, because even with that message yesterday, they talked about martyrs and all that. It seems like they're pretty much dead set in trying to win. It may become that situation, kind of like what they say when the US tried to, I guess, defeat a lot of terrorist organizations and all that, or certain regions. Eventually they just had to retreat, and it was just sheer, I guess, numbers and willpower of a certain group where they'll never quit and so forth. Will that be the case here? But just non-stop media and so forth of all this violence, unfortunately, even people getting, I guess, bombed near places like restaurants and stuff, by the looks of it. Crazy. Can you imagine living in those areas right now? Alright, see you guys later.